So good afternoon. How many of you are from 2023 OGP batches? Most of you. And 2024? Okay. Nice. 2024. Okay. So today we have gathered here basically to discuss all about the geography optional. So this is an introductory session. Today I will be just giving you a brief idea about geography as optional. What is the syllabus? What is UPSC expecting? What are the various myths and the realities around the optional? And what is expected from you? So these are the 4 to 5 main questions that you need to understand before choosing the optional. But before moving on to the geography as optional, let us try to understand the role and the relevance of any optional in your civil services journey. If you try to understand at macro level, we have total 1750 marks mains examination. Out of this 1750 marks, 500 marks goes for your optional. Now these 500 marks generally decides your destiny in UPSC final merit list. Either you will get into the list or which service you are going to get would be decided by the marks, mainly by the optional, essay and ethics, everything. But you should be generally having the marks more than 270, 280. 280 plus marks in the recent times are, I would say, the good marks, considering you have done well, performed well in your general studies and your essay paper. But when you are going to, if you want to score 300 marks, what are the parameters that you need to have with yourself to decide optional? Let that be any optional, public administration, sociology, literature, anthropology, any optional. Now, before choosing any optional, understand optional is like a marriage institution. Basically, once you marry, you cannot leave it. So before deciding any optional, you guys should be extremely wise and rational to decide really what you want. Because with the optional, you have to stay together until you clear the examination. So that time span could be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, depending upon how you approach the examination. So just imagine you need 2 attempts to clear the examination. Let us assume with any optional, let us consider 2 is the bare minimum amount of time basically needed by the aspirants to clear this examination. 2 years means 3 years ka journey. 2 attempts is equivalent to 3 years of journey in UPSC. Just imagine a subject where you have no background, no idea, no interest. And despite that you are opting for that particular optional, can you feel motivated? Answer is no. If you don't have interest, can you study for longer hours? Answer is no. Will you have the inquisitive nature? No. So, when you are deciding any optional, you should be rational. In the recent times, I have seen the aspirants, especially in Bangalore. I am not criticizing anything, but in Bangalore, students are from humanities background. Let us consider arts background ka bachcha hai, bachelor in arts, BA. And imagine he is opting for medical science. Is there any logic? Do you see any type of logic? Now, if I ask them, why did you do so? Taking any option is not a problem. Our aim and objective is to get into final merit list. That is why we are here. We have to get into the services like IAS, IPS, revenue services, etc. That is our final aim and objective. You go by X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, kuch bhi kar lo, but we have to get into the final merit list. That is our objective. You go by any means. But when you try to understand the student's psychology, why are they choosing a particular optional and why not? So what happens, generally before dwelling into any optional, they will go by the general trend ongoing in the market. Seniors have told X optional is very good, Seniors have told this optional is very small. Seniors have told that this optional is scoring. My friend have told basically this is a very small optional, you can score 300 plus aram se in the first attempt itself. So these viewpoints are not incorrect. They are true, but they are justified for that individual person, not for you. The thing which is applicable for X person may be applicable for Y person or may not be applicable for him. You are going to be a bureaucrat. Let us consider you are going to be a commissioner of Bangalore itself. Just imagine a Bangalore municipal commissioner when you are sitting on that chair, and if you are just listening to someone and not using your brain, not using your rationality to take a decision, then are you really capable of sitting on that chair? I don't feel so. Because you have to make use of your own knowledge, own inquisitive nature to take the decision. You should be rational. So today we will see what are those rational points upon which you should go with, not only with geography optional, with any option, whatever option you are telling. But here we will be precisely dealing with geography as optional. Got the idea? So I hope that you got the importance of the optional in your civil service career journey. Secondly, did you get the important points that you should keep in your mind before taking any optional? First is, you should be really interested. Understand this. You should be really interested in the subject. मतलब थोड़ा सा तो you need to have inquisitive nature. क्या होगा, क्या नहीं होगा, right? So interest is most important. Second, you should understand the syllabus of the optional. Third, you should understand the relevance of that particular syllabus in your general studies paper. Fourth, you should have right guidance and material for your preparation. Getting the idea? So these are the 4 to 5 points, and fifth is how is that optional performing. So these are the 5 points that you should keep in your mind before deciding any optional. And let us be extremely rational before deciding any option. So here today let us start with this geography as a optional. So here we are going to mainly find out these main points. That is, we are going to understand the syllabus of the geography. That means what is the syllabus given, what is UPSC expecting, how many chapters are there, and how much time will you need to complete that syllabus. That is what I will discuss in the first point. Second, we will understand what is the nature of this syllabus and the topics in paper 1 and paper 2. Whether the subject is a theoretical or whether it is a scientific or whether it is just a social science itself. We will try to understand that, and the nature of the questions also we will try to understand. That is the second point that we are going to see. Third, what are the book list or the resources that we need to study any optional, here in this case with respect to the geography optional. Here we will see the book list in two ways. First we will see the book list which is mandatory, that is which is a compulsory, and the reference books. Here the most important point which I will like to emphasize first at the first instance itself, for any optional as per the UPSC notification, the preparation should be of the honors level, that is MA level ka, BA and MA masters level ka. I personally feel yes, definitely basic books NCERTs are needed, and notes are also extremely important and essential, but reading certain books is 500% from my perspective important to score extremely well. Nowadays students wants ready-made सब कुछ, material ये वो, that would be provided in our classes, not a problem, but reading the reference books as a reference only is extremely important. ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब किसी का notes ले लिया और if you have done the classes तो हो गया. No, you need to make the use of the reference books. You need to read it. Getting the idea? Because without reading, how will the knowledge come? And without knowledge, how can you write? To get the knowledge, YouTube videos are the help nahi karta. It is the reading, the traditional way of learning, writing, etc. will help you. And for that, you need to read. So this is the most important part, book list or the resources. Later we will understand what is the relevance of the geography optional in your general studies, prelims, mains and essay. We will also understand how the classes are going to be there, how much classes we need, kitna time lagega, when the classes would be, what would be the duration, etc. Will the notes be provided? Secondly, will basically syllabus be completed in how much time, etc. Everything I will show with you of the last batches, right? And what are the different myths with respect to the subject. Okay. So there are various myths and I would say realities associated with the geography. Both, there are always, any coin will have two sides. Flip side is also present. But generally what happens, student, if someone is telling you something, you generally tend to consider it as 100% reality and you just see it like that from the narrow paradigm. Aisa nahi karna. Let us try to understand both the things. So we start with understanding the syllabus. So after understanding the relevance of the optional in the UPSC examination, second is the parameters that you should need to keep in your mind before taking the optional, that is interest, availability of the resources, right guidance, the credential of the faculty, right. So before this I missed out to tell you about myself. So most of you are right now from the OGP batches, so most of you know already, but still for the online students I will tell. Basically my name is Ashish, and in this civil service journey I started my journey way back in 2013. So it has been a decade, and in last 4 years I am associated with the Insights IAS, and I have given my 10 years of my life for geography optional. So I have seen both the sides, positive, negative. So I will be the right person to guide you because I have written 5 means. Out of these 5 means I have went for the interview, qualified for the interview for 2 times, and also I had cleared CAPF examination with all India rank 55 in year 2014-15. But I did not continue with the service, and right now I am associated with the teaching at Insights IAS. I hope that this was just fine. So I can tell you that side also and this side also. Being as a student, what should you think and what is the reality? Both the sides I will try to tell. By taking all these things into the account, let me first try to discuss the syllabus, or let me try to give you a brief idea about the syllabus. So this subject is divided into, I hope that this is visible. Is it visible? Everyone. So syllabus of the geography is divided into 2 papers. Paper 1 and paper 2. You may initially think it is very easy, but slowly we will go into the details. Now this paper 1 essentially have 2 components. That is basically आपका physical geography and human geography. Out of this physical geography and human geography in paper 1, that is, this is section A, section B of paper 1. Paper 2 is essentially Indian geography, is your Indian geography, and this paper have essentially one important component of mapping or map marking. Mapping ka out of, now this paper is for 250 marks and this paper is also for 250 marks. Here in paper 1 in physical geography you have total 5 chapters, and yahan pe bhi you have total 5 chapters, and here you have 10 chapters. Got the idea? Now in this physical geography you have in total physical geography mein total 5 chapters, that is geomorphology, second is your climatology, third is your oceanography, fourth is your basically biogeography, and fifth it is your environment geography. So these are the main 5 points or 5 chapters that you have to study. कहाँ से? In paper 1 section A. This is your section A and this is your section B. So it has 125 marks, this is 125 marks. What the idea? So here you have 5 chapters. Now if you try to understand, the word that is written here is nothing but geography. What is geography? First I will try to tell you a general idea and then I will move on to the syllabus and then I will go into micro details. First of all, geography, let us try to decode it. Geo and graphy. Geo is nothing but earth. Geo is earth and graphy is description. So geography is a particular science which deals with earth's description. Earth's description. Earth ka description. Now question is, what are the different descriptive features? So here you have to study the earth's descriptive features related to various relief features, various geophysical phenomena, etc. Relief features means mountains, rivers, how they have formed, what is the reason for their evolution. ये जो सब कुछ है, that those are called as landscape, that is relief features. Now the relief features could be primary, secondary, tertiary, that is big continents, the smaller areas and further smaller areas. So first you have to understand the formation of the continents, shields and then other relief features, small. So ये सब कुछ पढ़ना है यहाँ पे. In geophysical phenomena means any particular phenomena like for example earthquakes, volcanoes, right, tsunamis, ये क्या है? Geophysical phenomena. So while describing a particular phenomena, you have to describe that phenomena in a scientific way, where it is present and why it is present. So description of the earth, its relief features, geophysical phenomena, different industries, different vegetation types, different climatic regions, different soils, different vegetation, etc. In short, if you try to understand, imagine the map of India. On the map of India, if you try to understand, here in a crude way I am giving you an example. If you try to understand that in India, if you want to understand geography of India, that means you have to understand the description of India in the terms of the relief features. Here the relief features are most important are your Himalayan mountains, right? So first of all you have to understand how are these Himalayas formed, when are they formed, what are the factors responsible for formation of the Himalayas, what is their extension, everything, that is your relief feature. Now in Himalayan range, recently you have seen something called as Joshimath subsidence or the earthquakes. Yesterday there was tremors in the New Delhi. So that is a geophysical phenomena, that is earthquake along the Himalayas. This is your great North Indian plains, that is a plain area, and this is your Deccan lava plateau, that is peninsular plateau. Question is, how have these geophysical relief features formed, when, how? ये सब कुछ पढ़ना है. But along with this, you have to study the description of the culture, society of the, I am saying culture, cultural geography जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं. Then physical geography means physical relief features, Geophysical phenomena matlab volcanoes etc. across, not volcanoes, rather earthquakes across India. And cultural geography means the people, how they are living. Agriculture geography, industrial geography, सब कुछ आपको पढ़ना है. Now think logically, if you try to consider state of Kerala and state of Rajasthan, tell me the type of the climate in Rajasthan. It's a arid type of climate, while it's a tropical, or rather I would say equatorial type of climate. कहाँ पे? Kerala. If you try to understand the forest present, यहाँ पे you have dense vegetation, hardwood trees. Here you have cactus, euphorbia, etc. That means arid vegetation. So question is, why is it happening? Why are the vegetation different? Why is this? Why is basically vegetation different? Why is the soil different? The settlement type and the type of the houses will also be different. Logical. The agriculture will be also different. The settlement hierarchy in Rajasthan would be different than Kerala. Question is why, and who is influencing it? To answer all these questions, you have to understand geography. That means geography is a description of the earth, and geography itself is an interdisciplinary, or rather I would say multidisciplinary subject, which includes most of the sciences. Getting the idea? This geography as a subject is basically a pseudoscience. Some of them say it as a pseudoscience. Why? Because this paper 1 का physical geography is a core of geography. इसमें mainly there are 3 chapters. 1 geomorphology, climatology and oceanography. These 3 form the core of physical geography. Core of physical geography. Core means basically the subject. Without understanding these 3 chapters, you cannot understand Indian geography or any other geography. Getting the idea? So core formation कौन है? Basically ये 3 chapters है of section A, that is physical geography. Getting the idea? So what is there in geomorphology, what is there in climatology, what is there in oceanography? So to understand this, let me show you few images. That means I am trying to explain you the syllabus of geomorphology, climate, oceanography, biogeography and environment geography in general. So if you try to understand the syllabus, so this is geography optional paper 1, paper 2, this is physical geography, human geography, 5 chapters. Here right now we are discussing about the physical geography. In this physical geography, you have something called as geomorphology, climatology, oceanography. So, geomorphology, the name itself says geomorph. Geo is earth, morph is shape, logy is scientific study, biology. Biology को क्या बोलते हैं हम लोग? Bio is life, logy is scientific study. So scientific study of a life is called as biology. वैसे geomorphology means Earth's का different relief features and its scientific study is called as geomorphology. But before studying geomorphology, you should understand how in the past, in the geological past, how have our Earth evolved. This is our Earth. Formation or the evolution of the Earth. Now, Earth is a planet present in a solar system. That is our solar system. That is Milky Way galaxy. And there are multiple galaxies in the universe. First of all, the syllabus says understand basics of the universe, formation of the basically solar system, and then formation of the Earth. Now, when you are understanding the Earth, you have to understand lithosphere, that is the land component. Are you able to see this land component? Land component. That is lithosphere. You also understand atmosphere. Atmosphere is nothing but around the Earth. Are you able to see the thin layer of the gases surrounding the Earth's surface? Thin layer of the gases surrounding the Earth's surface is called as atmosphere. And fourth is water component. Third is water component, that is hydrosphere. So evolution of the atmosphere, evolution of the lithosphere, evolution of the hydrosphere and biosphere. How did this lead to the formation of the earth? पहले earth कुछ था ही नहीं. So we have to start our journey from the Big Bang. After that we will understand कि earth form कैसे हुआ. After formation of the earth we will understand how the atmosphere was formed. Later how the precipitation was there. Later how the volcanic eruptions were there. And over the period of millions of years or thousands of years, life started to evolve. Getting the idea? And after this evolution of the life, slowly, we'll understand, we'll go into the interior of the earth. That is the different layers of the earth. Earth के अंदर क्या है? Core, right? Crust and mantle. So what are the different layers? How are they formed? Getting the idea? So that is what we'll understand in the first chapter, geomorphology. While understanding this geomorphology, we'll understand certain important concepts and the theories like continental drift theory, plate tectonic theory, convective current theory. What does they explain? They explain us that this earth, are you able to see this earth, is divided, the uppermost layer, that is crust, is divided into two types, that is land based and a water based. Are you able to see this? So this is your plates. So that crust, earth ka crust, is divided into some major and some minor plates, and these plates are into continuous motion on the earth's surface. And this continuous motions of these plates on the earth's surface have led to the formation of different geophysical phenomena along the certain areas. Example, here you can see the red dots. These red dots are nothing but this area, this plus this area is nothing but Pacific ring of fire, because here you have Pacific Ocean. So along Pacific Ocean there is a convergence of the two plate boundaries. So when there is a convergence of the plate boundaries, there is going to be volcanic eruption or earthquake depending upon the plates. So ये हमें study करना है. So along with this, in the geological past, were all these continents exactly at this position? So answer is no. So what happened over the period of time that the present position of the continents you are able to see it. Earlier, if you are just trying to take this South America continent, take it and put it here, you can see that here it can be completely fit, zigzag fit जिसको बोलते हैं हम लोग. This continent completely fits here. That means all the land mass was together at one point, and slowly it has started to break. मतलब India was the part here, located here. Getting the idea? Question is, how did India move from here to here? And in this process, how were the mighty Himalayas evolved? How were the Western Ghats evolved? Getting the idea? So this is what you study in the first chapter. Along with this, in the first chapter, if you just try to understand the syllabus, factors controlling the landform development, that is endogenetic and exogenetic forces. Endogenetic forces means the forces which are operating within the earth's surface, which are responsible for the movement of the plates and later formation of the geophysical phenomena. So those we will understand here. We will understand the physical conditions of the earth's interior. We will understand basically the different concepts like continental drift, isostasy, plate tectonics, mountain building, etc. ये सब कुछ from here till this particular point, till basically tsunamis point mentioned in the syllabus, everything you have to study for GS also. General Studies paper 1. Only the points related to here from geomorphic cycle till I would say geomorphology, ये वाला point, economic geology etc. यहाँ तक is completely related to geography. And what is this second part? It is mainly related to your geomorphic cycles given by the different thinkers, that is Davis, Penck, L.C. King, etc. What is this geomorphic cycles? What is this channel morphology? What is this slope development? Let us try to understand this. I will give one example. Just imagine here you have mighty Himalayas. From Himalayas, you can see here your river Ganga draining into your particular ocean, that is Bay of Bengal. But when Ganga is originating here near Gangotri, and when it is moving, here it is originating in Gangotri, which is at a very high altitude. and Ganga is moving or rushing down with very high velocity, very high kinetic energy. So when it is rushing down, it is eroding the basically mountains. Whatever the eroded material is there, that is getting deposited here along the Gangetic plain, and the most finest particles would be taken slowly till this delta, that is Sundarban deltas. So slope development and geomorphic cycle essentially explains us formation of different geographic relief features at different stages. कैसे? Here the river is in youth stage, at your stage. This is your mature stage, and ये आपका old stage है. So in this stage, which are the different relief features formed? For example, oxbow lakes, meandering of the river, delta formation. Why is the delta is formed here? Because river does not have the capacity. यहाँ पे this river was very vigorous, more energetic. So that is why there was active deepening. That is why if you go to Himalayas, you will see V-shaped valleys, gorges and canyons. But here you will see deltas. Why? Because river is not able to carry its own load. So what will it do? It will keep away all the material that it has brought there and there itself, forming the deltas. So ये geomorphic cycle से पढ़ना है आपको, which was given by the thinkers like Davis, Penck, Walter Penck, etc. In this process, you have to also understand, I would say, basically आपको क्या पढ़ना है? Slope evolution, channel morphology, erosion surfaces. ये everything you know. The point is basically ये you have to understand कि हाँ यार, this is what I had seen. Getting the idea? So very interesting, very much applicable, and very much lively. Completely scientific and conceptual topics. Getting the idea? So this is what. So here are you able to see? This is a canyon. So ये river flow हो रही है, and when this river is flowing, it is meandering. Question is, why is it meandering? Why is that it has eroded this much surface? Are you able to see? The erosion of this surface has been from top till this point. Question is why? How it is eroding? Whether it is eroding from top to bottom or bottom to up. So these are the viewpoints that we have to study. Understood? So ये है आपका first chapter, that is your geomorphology. I hope that you got the idea. Now in geomorphology, you have to apply this geomorphological concept immediately to paper 2, that is geography of India. That means paper 2 का first part, physical setting, first chapter. There are total 10 chapters. What happens? Whatever you study here in geomorphology, you have to apply this physical geography and their 5 chapters to Indian geography. So paper 2 is nothing but application of paper 1. Plate tectonic theory you will study in paper 1, but this plate tectonic theory explains us how this Himalayas have been formed. That means plate tectonic कहाँ पे पढ़ोगे आप? You will study the plate tectonics in physical geography, but its application is you will find in Indian geography, chapter 1. That means paper 2 is application of paper 1. Got the idea? Similarly, the second chapter is related to your climatology. Climatology. Extremely important, completely conceptual, and once you understand it, फिर से पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just now you came for the orientation and right now it's 2:30 and it is extremely hot outside. And presently in the month of this March, you are able to feel extreme hotness, especially in India. Question is why? To understand these reasons, you have to understand climatology. Climatology essentially deals with atmospheric pressures, wind patterns, different type of climatic regions. Question is how are they formed? Let me show you with one example. So if you try to understand this world map, let us take the world map. Let us try to understand. Here you have our India, right? These are your mighty Himalayas and Tibetan plateau. Here we are trying to understand climate. So the climate present here in Sahara region, Sahel region of Africa, and the climate present here in Amazon rainforest? Is it same? Is it same? What is present in Amazon rainforest? So basically complete dense vegetation, plus you have hot equatorial type of climate, plus you are having very high precipitation, especially in the afternoons by the formation of the different type of clouds. But यहाँ पे complete aridity. That means climate of this area with respect to this area, that is Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, etc. different है ना. So why is that the climate here is more colder, and why is that climate here is more arid, and why is that here you have more precipitation, especially in the afternoons? So ये क्या है climate है. So climate is a very easy chapter where you have to understand different planetary winds, different type of climatic regions. Getting the idea? For example, we have here which type of climate? Monsoonal type of climate. Monsoonal type of climate is present along the Indian subcontinent. Question is, how is this monsoon, or what are these monsoons? In simplest words, monsoon are nothing but seasonal reversal of the trade winds. What happens in the month of the June? In the month of the June, I am saying, sun is overhead of Tropic of Cancer. This is your Tropic of Cancer. This is your equator, guys. This is your equator, and this is your Tropic of Capricorn. Logical? So what happens during the month of the June? Sun is overhead of the, in the month of June, sun is overhead of the Tropic of Cancer. In the month of December, sun is overhead of the, in the month of the December, sun is overhead of the Tropic of Capricorn. Just 1-2 days before there was Ugadi. In Maharashtra it is called as Makar Sankranti. So basically अभी क्या हो गया? उगाड़ी हो गया, right? गुड़ी पड़वा हो गया महाराष्ट्र में. So उगाड़ी का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of उगाड़ी का मतलब क्या होता है? Tell me. It is related to basically the movement of the sun. Getting the idea? What is the month? March. So sun has started to move from here towards this part, June में, and June के बाद यहाँ से नीचे आएगा. Getting the idea? That means now we are getting, sun is slowly approaching here. Actually sun is not moving, rather the earth is revolving around the sun. But right now the sun, we are saying that sun is apparent over the Tropic of Cancer. So if the sun is overhead of the Tropic of Cancer, that means here there will be more coolness, plus here there will be more hotness because insolation is there. When insolation is more, if there is more heating, there would be more intense low pressure over here. Have you seen your home refrigerator? In refrigerator there is something called as freezer. In that freezer you have very cold temperatures. जहाँ पे भी cold temperature are there, what is there? Extreme high pressure. And wherever there is more temperature, pressure are low. So when sun is overhead of the Tropic of Cancer, here there will be more temperature. More temperature means less pressure. If low pressure is there present here, wind generally, what is meaning of wind? Movement of the air is called as wind. So wind or air will move from high pressure to the low pressure. So what happens? The wind starts to move from high pressure to low pressure. Now wind is moving from the ocean towards the land. That means it is carrying lot of moisture. When it is carrying lot of moisture, it will shed the basically water in the form of precipitation along the windward side of the Western Ghats. That is why in the month of the June in Kerala we receive first monsoon precipitation. Logical? ये क्या है? Climate है. Got the idea? Winds, precipitation, clouds, different type of climatic regions. What is this? This is nothing but the climatology and different type of climatic classification by the different thinkers. That is what is the syllabus of paper 2. Got the idea? Climatology, temperature, pressure belts, planetary winds, local winds. Have you heard about the sea breeze and land breeze? वो क्या है? Local winds है. So वो भी यहाँ पे पढ़ना है. Monsoon, jet streams, and then climatic classification by the Köppen and Thornthwaite, Trivartha, etc. That means the classification, different classification given by different thinkers. बस यही पढ़ना है यहाँ पे. It's very easy. Now when you are studying here monsoons, are you able to see this monsoon? Monsoon is a type of a climatic pattern. application of climatology in Indian context is nothing but the climate of India. Are you able to see here? Tropical cyclones, western disturbances, mechanism of Indian monsoon, rainfall pattern. ये कहाँ पे पढ़ा आपने basically? Where did you study this? Here, monsoon jet streams, tropical cyclones, temperate cyclones. Are you able to see this? The same thing you are able to find it here. Indian monsoons, tropical cyclone, western disturbances. That was general understanding of a particular phenomena. When it is applied in the Indian context, समझ में आ रहा है? That is what is Indian geography. Indian geography is nothing but application of paper 1. We will be studying simultaneously paper 1 and paper 2, so that you will get deeper understanding. What the idea? Next is your oceanography. Again, very easy. If you just understand again this map, you are able to see this ocean, Atlantic, Pacific, Indian Ocean. Now, on this earth surface, this is land, this is water. On land surface, you are able to find different mountains, plateaus, right? यहाँ पे rivers भी है, everything is there. That means earth का relief feature on the land is not even, rather it is uneven, ऐसे, or basically undulating. It is not plain. We generally tend to understand the land below the water would be plain, but that is incorrect. Land below the water surface, that means this is a land on which water is present, and this is a surface on which complete only land surface are present. Logical? Now here, if you try to understand this ocean relief features, what are you able to see? This oceanic relief, is it even or is it completely plain? No, it is uneven. Question is, how is this uneven relief features formed, and what are those? Example, are you able to see this part northeast of USA? So here you can see something broad, and here it is very narrow. It is nothing but continental shelf. Here it is wide, here it is narrow. Question is why? And what happens if it is a wide continental shelf? In the Indian context, if you just see along the western side, you have basically, you have wide continental shelf, यहाँ पे narrow. Getting the idea? From here, what are you going to get? Oil and natural gas, shale gas. Logical? So, understanding the oceanic currents. What is oceanic current? Movement of the water in a particular direction under the influence of wind. Now, just imagine if here winds are moving like this. So, when wind is moving from here to here, that is from high pressure towards the low pressure, wind, while it is moving in a longer distance in the same particular direction with a particular high speed, it will be also carrying water along with it. So, this movement of the water in a particular direction under the influence of the wind is called as oceanic currents. And because of the gravitational force of earth, moon and sun, you find tides. So, study of the oceanic currents, tides, oceanic relief features and different resources present in the oceans, that is biotic, abiotic. Fish भी है, oil and natural gas भी है. Fish मतलब biotic, having life. Oil and natural gas, other minerals is abiotic. वो हो गया आपका basically abiotic resources. All these things you are going to study in oceanography. That is bottom topography of Atlantic, Indian and Pacific Ocean. Temperature, salinity, heat budget of the ocean. Getting the idea? What is this temperature? For example, just imagine in this classroom, this is the topmost surface of the ocean and the floor on which I am standing is the bottommost layer of the ocean. With the increase in the depth of the water, basically the temperature of the water will reduce because insolation is high at the topmost surface. The uppermost waters will be much more hot, logical, with respect to the waters present at the bottom layer. So, how is this temperature differences? How is the vertical distribution of the temperature? ये सब कुछ पढ़ना है आपको in this part, that is temperature and salinity. Similarly, we also saw ocean depths, waves, oceanic currents, tides, marine resources, biotic energy resources, etc. and our coral reefs. So ये सब कुछ आप यहाँ पे पढ़ोगे. Getting the idea? Similarly, Indian geography में, in Indian geography, you will be studying all the energy and all the resources in Indian context. समझ में आया? That is your paper 2. Let us understand biogeography. Biogeography essentially deals with soil science. Soil science. Now let me try to tell this through the Indian context. Now if you try to understand our peninsular plateau and Great North Indian plains. This is your Great North Indian plain, right? And this is your peninsular plateau. Now if you try to understand the soil present in general in peninsular region, we call it as a black cotton soil. यहाँ पे कौन सा soil है? Black cotton soil we say. यहाँ पे you have something called as alluvial soil, that is fertile soil. Question is, why is this black cotton soil present here? Why is alluvial soil present here? So understanding this soil formation is called as soil genesis. Soil genesis is nothing but how the soil is formed and the origin of the soil. What are the factors responsible for the soil formation? There could be certain active factors and there could be certain passive factors, right? Active factors like this black cotton soil, which we call as regular soil, is because of this Deccan lava plateau. Getting the idea? Because of that Deccan lava plateau, that is basaltic plateau, the type of the color in the soil is black, and it has high magnesium content and it supports cultivation of the cotton. While if you consider alluvial soil, it is nothing but this fertile soil brought down by these rivers, Ganga, Ghagara, Gandak, Kosi, Yamuna. They are bringing the fertile soil from the upper reaches of the Himalayas and they are depositing here, and that is why here you have alluvial soil. Alluvial soil supports cultivation of rice, cultivation of sugarcane, etc. That means soil is essentially linked to agriculture also. Got the idea? So types of the soil, different, first of all, formation of the soil, factors responsible for the formation of the soil, distribution of the soil. Getting the idea? Soils and their erosion. For example, the cultivation of the crops here is dependent upon fertility of the soil. Now to improve the fertility, we generally make use of the fertilizers. Urea सुना होगा आपने, nitrogen, phosphate, phosphorus, etc. Manures, biofertilizers, etc. Getting the idea? So why is that the soil is degrading? What are the reasons for the soil degradation? How you can maintain the soil fertility? For example, if you are ill or if you are going to gym, you generally take more protein intake. That means you are giving your body proteins and vitamins, nutrients for your own growth. So similarly, for this soil, which is a abiotic factor, you also need to provide certain minerals and nutrients so that it can support the agriculture. Question is how it will be supporting it. So all these things, basics, you are going to understand in biogeography. That is genesis of the soil, that is formation of the soil, classification of the and distribution of the soil. Getting the idea? Soil profile, factors influencing the world distribution, and later this part is nothing but your environmental geography and biogeography, which essentially deals with distribution of the plants, animals, etc. Later you have environmental geography. Now this is in general you have to study about world in paper 1. In paper 2 what will you study? यहाँ पे paper 1 में क्या पढ़ा आपने? Soil geography of the world. That means along the world what is the different type of soil present here, 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 कहाँ पे, everywhere. That is paper 1. Paper 2 क्या है? इंडिया में कहाँ पे हो? Application of the same concept in Indian context. Got the idea? So this is your biogeography. Environmental geography in the recent times, now these three, 1, 2, 3 are the most important of all the chapters of physical geography. But in the recent times, this guy, that is environmental geography, have basically taken more active role and more number of questions have been asked. But this is the easiest chapter where you will be understanding vegetation, different type of biomes. Getting the idea? Principles of ecology, what is the meaning of ecology, what is ecosystem, what are different adaptations and response mechanism, etc. In short, let me try to tell you through diagram. Ecology is nothing but a science of ecosystem, and ecosystem is nothing but a structure and function unit of a biosphere. And what is biosphere? It is a sphere where life is existing. Getting the idea? So, if you try to understand vegetation, that is, I would say the plants. The plants present in Himalayas, here would be generally coniferous or alpine. Yahan pe there would be hardwood trees, yahan pe there would be softwood trees, and here you have grasslands. Logical there? So, why is that different vegetation distribution is there? On what factors is the vegetation distribution affecting? What is ecology, and how is this ecology degrading because of different reasons? That is ecological degradation, management, conservation, biodiversity, remedial measures. This is completely your environmental geography. Got the idea? समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So this is completely related to GS also. So these 5 chapters are basically your physical geography. Got the idea? This is your physical geography. That is what we have seen just now. Physical geography समझ में आया 5 chapters. इसी का application you will find in Indian geography. So Indian geography is nothing but application and linkage of paper 1 section A to paper 2. What the idea? Now let me tell you human geography. This is scientific, these are scientific conceptual topics. ये जो part है human geography, this is your, I would say, social science or basically ये पूरा philosophical है. This is social science and this is complete philosophical. Now this has basically again 5 chapters. It has again 5 chapters. The first chapter, I am writing it here, human geography ka. The 5 chapters are, first is your perspective in human geography. Perspective in human geography. Second is your economic geography. Third is your, I would say, regional geography. Regional geography. Fourth, population and settlement geography. Population and settlement geography. And fifth is your models, theories, and law building in geography. Again, out of these 5 chapters, the most important core of them is perspective in human geography, models and population. ये 3 are the core of human geography. Now let us try to understand the nature of human geography. Human geography is a subject where you will feel all the philosophical thinkers would be there. Completely social science लगेगा आपको ये. Perspective, meaning, what is the meaning of perspective? Viewpoint. Your viewpoint about a particular thing. So, first of all, the question is whether a geography is a science, yes or no. If you consider chemistry, you have periodic table. If you consider physics, you have gravitational laws. If you consider mathematics, you have Pythagoras theorem. मतलब क्या ये पूरा scientific है, proven है. But whether geography, which is just a descriptive science, that is Earth's का description is geography, that is descriptive science, whether can I say that geography is a science, yes or no? So that was a question, and to answer that question, you have to understand the viewpoints of different people. That is perspective in human geography. It is one of the most easiest topic, but people generally give the less weightage. I generally feel if you are studying, actually you should study best this topic. अगर ये समझ में आया तो amount of the score that you can score will increase to such a level that you may get 310. Just like what Yasharth Shekhar in last year got. 306, 290 भी बच्चों को नंबर है. But उसके लिए you should have firm hold on the perspectives. Perspectives means viewpoints of different geographers, starting from Arab geographers, Chinese geographer, European geographers, Indian geographers. What are their viewpoints about man and environment? There is something called as dualism and dichotomy. Dualism and dichotomy means about one particular viewpoint, about one particular thing, there could be two viewpoints. Example, let me take one example as determinism and possibilism. Determinism and possibilism. There are two things. Let us try to understand through this map. There are different thinkers like Strabo, Eratosthenes, etc. If you try to understand the great civilizations that the earth have seen, like Mesopotamia, Indus Valley civilization, in China, everywhere, you will find that most of these civilizations have flourished near the river basins. Secondly, second example I am giving, if you try to understand present times में the countries like European countries and America, Northern American countries, Canada and USA. These are the most developed countries presently. In the context of technology, in the context of per capita income, in the context of industrial growth, etc. Question is why? To answer this why, you need to understand the physical and the human geography of these areas. As per certain thinkers of deterministic school of thought, they say that Europe and Northern America are bound to be developed. Q, because of good climate, because of good precipitation. Getting the idea? For example, in this classroom, presently, as I said, the temperature is around 22 degrees centigrade, matlab ideal temperature. You can not feel very high heat, neither you will feel very cold, you will feel moderate. Just imagine if the temperature of this classroom was 50 degrees centigrade. Will you be mentally active? No. So as per the thinkers, the people especially in this area are born to be slaves. Q, because there is no going to be development, because pani nahi hai wahan pe. Plus people staying in the hot and arid climate are much more volatile, they are not thinkative, but the people staying here are calm, cooler, they are living in moderate type of regions, so they are more thinkative and they are bound to rule. ऐसा viewpoint है. This is what is determinism. Getting the idea? But if you try to link it, it is logically correct and also logically incorrect, because now the man have tried to change the environment. Let us take the example of this classroom itself. If there was no AC right now here, would we be able to sit here? No, it would have been extremely hot, but because of this air conditioner, we are able to sit. That means man have tendency to change the temperature of this area. That is possibilism. Possibilism is a school of thought. So determinism school क्या कहता है कि why is that these guys are able to rule? It is because of the nature. मतलब every action would be determined by the nature. Physical geography, climate of the area, everything of the area would be determined by the nature. मतलब God के हाथ में सब कुछ है, अपने हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. But there is other viewpoint. So this is what these guys say. Deterministic. Everything is determined by the God, by the nature. हमारे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. But these guys, that is possibilism school of thought, says that no, humans have capability to change their own destiny. Let us take example. In the Indian context, if you try to understand the rivers, like this, here you have Bias and Satluj river, right? Here you have Bias and Satluj river. From this Bias and Satluj river, there is one canal running till Jaisalmer. यहाँ पे ऐसे. This is Indira Gandhi canal. If you try to understand the basic climate of this area, that is Rajasthan, it is a hot and arid climate. Which is the type of the crop that you should grow there? Cereals, millets like bajra, etc. But human have tendency to bring the water from water surplus region to arid region. That means why has this happened? It is not because of nature. It is because of construction of canal. Canal is constructed by human beings. That means humans have ability to alter the cropping pattern in Rajasthan. That is why in certain areas you will find cultivation of sugar cane. Getting the idea? So why has this happened? Because of the human possibilities. That is possibilism school of thought. That means nature के हाथ में सब कुछ नहीं. Humans also have कुछ मतलब their own potential. कुछ औकात है हमारी. We can also change certain things. Getting the idea? Similarly, earlier imagine if there was only monocropping. Now we have multi-cropping. Why? Because of high yielding variety seeds. Getting the idea? So we are able to alter because of our own school of thought, मतलब own possibilities. That is possibilism school of thought. यही सब कुछ है in this human geography. That is perspectives in human geography. That is different schools. That is dichotomy and dualism. Getting the idea? Similarly, areal differentiation, regional synthesis, languages, religion, secularization, cultural regions of the world, human development index, etc. One of the most interesting topics here, sorry, we study this. But here you have to study culture, here you have to study religion, here you have to study human development index. This is all nothing but society. In GS paper 1 and 2, is pura society ka part hai. Languages, religion, culture. That means geography is having cultural geography element, social geography element. Getting the idea? Now, to make this geography scientific, you need certain laws, models and theories. Just like I told in physics, chemistry, biology, you have laws, mathematics you have laws. Without that, a subject cannot become a science. To make it a science, models, theories and laws were developed in the human geography after positivism school of thought. What is positivism school of thought? It is a school of thought given by Auguste Comte. He says that everything should be logical, rational and scientific and should be proven. X is equal to y. बात खत्म. X plus y is equal to z. Prove करो, बात खत्म. मतलब everything should be science, everything should be logical, everything should be rational. And if you are able to do so, then only you are scientific. So to make geography as a science, we had brought models and theories in geography. Example, industrial location. See here, Weber's model of industrial location, agriculture location model, demographic transition model. So in everything you have models, models, models. Let me try to tell you one example. If you try to consider again this Indian context, what do you see? If you consider TISCO, Tata Iron Steel Plant, where is it located? Jamshedpur. Why not in Bangalore? Anyone? Because for location of a particular industry, what do you need? Most important is basically raw materials. Second is labor and transportation. These are the three most important points as per Weber. As per Weber, basically there is something called as location triangle, where the industry ka location would be dependent upon raw material, transportation cost and basically आपका labor cost. Yes, definitely others are also present, other factors like capital availability, etc., etc. सब कुछ है. But as per him, these three are the most important. Now let us try to take example of sugarcane industry. In Raichur, if you go in northern Karnataka, Raichur Doab, Krishna Godavari Doab, you will find lot of sugarcane industries. Sugarcane is basically wet losing, I would say, a product, raw material. So generally, sugarcane industries would be located kahan pe? Generally near the raw material. Why they would be generally located near the raw material? मतलब उनका location would be near the raw material. Why? Because यहाँ पे होगा उनका location near the raw material. Why? Because sugarcane is a weight losing industry. मतलब the sucrose content reduces with increase in time. इसीलिए उसके पास. But if you try to understand the other industry, let us take Bangalore only. Bangalore is the Silicon Valley of India. Why is that for the first time the Silicon Valley was brought into Bangalore? Tell me. Because Bangalore is a plateau, first of all. Bangalore ka weather is the most moderate, most calm weather. Now it is not there. because of climate change crisis. But Bangalore का weather is extremely good, moderate, शांत है पूरा, because of that mental alertness would be maximum. So software industry is a mental industry. मतलब mental industry means basically where you need to be having a thinkative people, where you need to have engineering colleges, engineering colleges, etc. Bangalore is an education hub. Engineering colleges are also there since the time of ODR also. Plus climate is also good, plus government policies are supportive. इसीलिए Infosys Bangalore में. Got the idea? Because for them raw material क्या है? Human resource. Getting the idea? You need a place where you can find less rent. वहाँ पे locate करूँगा मैं. For that I am going to decide where I should to locate a particular industry. That would be decided on different cost. And to decide on the different parameters, where should I locate a particular industry depending upon transportation cost, ये cost, वो cost, I will decide that through using a particular theorems, etc. Those would be given by Weber model of industrial location. मतलब to locate a industry, you will have a thinker who will give his own ideas where you should locate where industry. Similarly, agriculture location. Are you able to see von Thunen model of agriculture location? Which crop you should grow where? That is also dependent upon here. Now, if you try to understand what do you drink early in the morning? Generally milk. Milk is grown basically by the cattle industry. But do you find any cattle industry within Bangalore? Earlier, this cattle industry, that is the perishable products, vegetable, etc., used to be grown near the market city. Why? Because transportation के लिए time लगेगा. There was no refrigeration facilities. So इसीलिए the perishable products are these vegetables, fruits, right? Milk. These are perishable products. It will get damaged if they are not transported immediately and not utilized. So इसीलिए they would be grown nearby the consumer places, market city. But now we have refrigeration facilities. Milk can be converted to powder and then brought back. So now the location is not a problem. So here I am going to cultivate or do the cattle industry in somewhere place where the I would say the land rent is the least. Getting the idea? So which crop, which activity you are going to do where, ये सब कुछ models and theories यहाँ पे पढ़ना है आपको. And this is how you will make geography a scientific, and that is nothing but a part or a continuation of perspective only. ये दोनों एक ही chapter है actually. मतलब continuation of this is here only. समझ में आइए? Perspectives and models. What's the idea? Similarly, you have economic geography. Economic geography means basically world economic development. So question is, if you again see this map, here you will find this area to be highly developed, this area to be highly developed. That is USA, Canada and Western European countries. That is, what are the factors that are determining world economic development? Why there is inequality? Which are the factors that are going to determine the per capita income here? How much growth is happening here? Which are the industries which are present here? For example, if you take USA, here we have fishing industry. Why? Because wide continental shelf, plus the region is temperate region, cold climates. Cold climates, the fish can survive for longer period of time after the harvest because of cold climates. Plus यहाँ पे cold oceanic currents plus warm oceanic currents meet. Getting the idea? So यहाँ पे best fishing grounds. So fishing industry यहाँ पे होगा. Here your iron and steel industry. This is a Great Lake region, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, right? So transportation cost would be less. Plus here your Appalachian mountains. So here you have coal and iron ore reservoirs. इसीलिए in Detroit your best automobile manufacturing hub. Logical है? So which industry where, how much development will happen, which are the industries, where they are located, how they are located, ये सब कुछ आपको कहाँ पे पढ़ना है? You are going to study it in economic geography. That is world economic development, their measurement and the problems of world economic development. Why is that? Basically UP, Bihar, despite having good fertile soil and good climate, lack of development is there in the context of per capita income. ये भी पढ़ना है हमें यहाँ पे. Getting the idea? Similarly, basically you have to study world different resources, biotic, abiotic resources, mineral resources, etc. Their distribution, energy crisis, limits to growth, and then we'll study agriculture again, world agriculture regions, typologies, etc. And the world industries, where they are located, locational patterns, their problems, and the pattern of the world trade. Getting the idea? So basically trade between India and USA, India and China, where we have trade surplus, where we have trade deficit, why we have, which are the commodities we are exporting, which are the commodities we are importing. ये सब कुछ economy है, and that is nothing but geography, that is related to geography. But depending upon what is present, the resources that are present, depending upon that only trade will be decided. ये सब कुछ economic geography है. इसका application you will find again in Indian geography. Similarly, you are having population and settlement geography and regional planning. So, population settlement means studying demographic attributes. For example, what is the world population now? 8 billion. It crossed 8 billions. So, question is it evenly distributed? No. Certain place you have more population density, certain place you have less population density. Question is why is it? That means you have to study different demographic attributes, sex ratio, maternal mortality rate, etc. etc. ये आपको सब कुछ यहाँ पे growth and distribution of the world population across the world. For example, European countries are seeing basically negative population, right? But India में population बढ़ रहा है. So distribution, growth, demographic attributes we have to study here. Migration, that is movement of the people from one area to other area. Why is it happening? What are the theories of migration that you have to study here? Population theories, Marxian theory, Malthus theory, demographic transition theory, सारे theories यहाँ पे आपको पढ़ने हैं. And along with this settlement, settlement means urban. This Bangalore is an urban city. Along with the Bangalore, along the Bangalore, you might have seen there is a ribbon development. These are the roads, highways. Just imagine this is Bangalore and this is your Mysore. Now this road have been developed, 8-lane road. So the development will start to take place along the roads. So in Bangalore, in Plateau, what is the different type of settlement you are able to find? Whether it is a dense settlement, compact settlement, what is the different type of settlements you find in the Rajasthan? They are scattered settlement. So all these things, primate cities, rank size rule, rural settlements, urban settlements, sphere of urban influence, satellite towns, sustainable development, urbanization, ये सब कुछ settlement में पढ़ोगे आप. Got the idea? And in regional planning, you will try to understand, if you try to understand India, the growth and the development of India itself is uneven, right? There are certain states where there is a very high urbanization, economic growth, etc. So if you try to understand regions in the terms of geography, so this is mountainous region, this is desert area, this is plain area, and this is plateau area. If you try to understand in the terms of culture, यहाँ पे you have tribal area, right? This is your complete urban area, Mumbai, Delhi, etc. So regions can be classified on the different parameters. Now here you have to understand methods of regionalization, what is a region, how it can be classified, and fourth, what are the reasons for regional inequality or regional imbalance. If you try to understand here, Jharkhand, Odisha, etc., despite having heavy industries, why is that Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh are less developed with respect to, for example, this area? Why is that development is less here with respect to this area? That means you are going to compare the two areas. That means there is a regional imbalance. एक place में बहुत ज़्यादा development है, here there is less. So this is regional imbalance. Question is why, and what are the solution? So is the solution in the form of growth pool, growth centers, what? So ये सब कुछ आपको यहाँ पे concept of region, types of region, method of regionalization, regional imbalances, growth poles and growth centers, एक सब कुछ आपको यहाँ पे पढ़ना है. Got the idea? So these are the basically 5 chapters of human geography. I hope you got the idea about the physical geography 5 chapters and iska 5 chapters. So basically this itself is a core of geography, right? And iska application you can do it in Indian geography. Let us try to understand again. So I hope that you have got these 5 points: climate, geomorphology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography, perspectives, regional, economic geography, population settlement, and models and theories. अब इसी का application you will find here, resources. Resources, the same thing you would be studying here. Are you able to see this? Resources. वही resources, here you are studying world resources, the same resources you have to study at the Indian context, that is land, water, सब कुछ. agriculture. Here you studied basically आपका world agriculture, typologies of agriculture regions, agriculture inputs, productivity, food and nutritional problems. इसी का extension is this part. इंडस्ट्रीज आपने यहां पे पढ़ लिया, वर्ल्ड इंडस्ट्रीज, लोकेशन एक्सेट्रा, इंडिया का सेपरेट, दैट्स इट. ट्रांसपोर्ट, ट्रेड, कम्युनिकेशन, वॉट एवर द ट्रेड वी सॉ इन इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी, उसी का एप्लीकेशन. अगेन कल्चरल सेटिंग इज नथिंग बट पॉपुलेशन. यहां पे सेटलमेंट, व्हाट वाज द नेम ऑफ दिस चैप्टर? पॉपुलेशन एंड सेटलमेंट. द सेम थिंग इंडिया का कल्चरल एंड सेटलमेंट. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ अनदर चैप्टर? रीजनल प्लानिंग इन पेपर 1. यहां पे क्या है? रीजनल डेवलपमेंट एंड प्लानिंग इन इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट. एंड ये पॉलिटिकल एस्पेक्ट्स एंड कंटेम्परेरी इश्यूज. नाउ दिस पार्ट, इंटरस्टेट इश्यूज, वाटर इश्यूज, हियर यू हैव पॉलिटी का पार्ट. जस्ट सी हियर, इंडियन फेडरलिज्म पॉलिटी है ना, है ना. स्टेट रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉलिटी है ना, बट फ्रॉम वी हैव टू स्टडी इट फ्रॉम ज्योग्राफिक पर्सपेक्टिव. इमर्जेंस ऑफ न्यू स्टेट्स पॉलिटी, यस और नो. रीजनल कॉन्शियसनेस एंड इंटरस्टेट इश्यूज, सोसाइटी इश्यूज है, राइट. इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्री ऑफ इंडिया एंड रिलेटेड इश्यूज, इंडिया चाइना, इंडिया पाकिस्तान, ये सब कुछ इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी का पार्ट है. क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, जीएस पे. इंडियाज रोल इन द वर्ल्ड अफेयर्स, जियो पॉलिटिक्स एंड इंडियन ओशन रिल्म. गेटिंग द आइडिया? आईआर का पार्ट, मतलब आईआर, सोसाइटी, पॉलिटी, सब कुछ आएगा यहाँ पे. गेटिंग द आइडिया? सो and this is contemporary issues that is related mainly to the environment, environmental issues, hazards, etc. I hope that you got in detail the idea about paper 1 and paper 2. Got the idea? So basically this geography optional ka paper 1 is for 250 marks and yahan pe you have 250 marks. Section A is physical geography, B is human geography. This is Indian geography. Indian geography is nothing but application of paper 1. You need strong linkages. You need strong linkage between paper 1 and paper 2. And here one of the most important component is mapping. Mapping component. So what happens? Out of this 250 marks, 20 marks are essentially given for mapping and 230 marks का paper है. 230 marks का paper है. So mapping का कितना points आएगा? 10 points. Each point will have 2 marks, total 20. Got the idea? Out of this 10, if you are able to solve 7 to 8 also, काम हो गया आपका. Got the idea? So this is the general idea about the geography optional. So I hope that you got a general overview of the syllabus. Now, nature of the geography you understood in paper 1, paper 2, it is both. Humanities is also there and it is scientific also. So question is, who can opt for geography optional? People from both the backgrounds, technical and humanities, can opt for it because the nature of the subject is like that. That is, doctors, engineers and the people from the, I would say, humanities background can also apply for this optional. Got the idea? Now let us understand the book, resources and the list. So in this, later we will come to this point. So the books that you are going to start, and in the class which are going to be taught, we will start from these basic books. So the basic books, the mandatory books are basically NCERT's standard 11, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, India Physical Environment. This is physical geography का, the paper 1 section A, and ये क्या है आपका? Indian geography, इसका application. This is India, people and economy, and this is your human geography, and this is the GC Leong book which are mandatory. These 5 books are essential to be read. Without understanding this, we cannot move further. Other than this, when it comes to basically आपका, let me show you once more. When it comes to basically this paper, physical geography and human geography, here I have divided the books for physical geography into compulsory book and reference book. यहाँ पे भी compulsory book, reference book. In general, I will tell you, फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी में there is one book called as Physical Geography by Dr. Savindra Singh. This is a mandatory book here, but the reference books, Savindra Singh sir ka total 6 books are there. One is Physical Geography book by Dr. Savindra Singh, plus there are 5 books of Savindra Singh sir, किसके लिए? With respect to all these chapters. Geomorphology by Savindra Singh, Climatology by Savindra Singh, Oceanography by Savindra Singh, Biogeography by Savindra Singh, Environment Geography by Savindra Singh. Each of this book is around 400 pages. इतना बड़ा. You should not purchase it. जरूरत नहीं है. Separate 5 books are there for each chapter, and there is one comprehensive book which includes all the chapters. So you have to take only one book. Got the idea? Mandatory. There are other reference books like Rupa made simple series का books है. Foreign authors are there. Very good, but only for reference. For climatology, you have DS Lal, etc. And for geomorphology or other, you have many Stoller, etc. Need not to read. I will give it to you, the PDF or the certain pages in the book. Got the idea? Similarly, for human geography, you have Majid Hussain sir book, Sudipta Adhikari, etc. अभी यहाँ पे I will show you the images so that you will understand. So this is the Savindra sir का physical geography book which will have all the chapters. So this is a base book which you should purchase. These are the books only for reference, that is value addition. These are not mandatory. इसका PDF मिल जाएगा Telegram पे. I will give it to you. And here, if this book is of 400 pages, you have to read only 40 pages. That means you have to use as a reference book. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? पूरा नहीं पढ़ना है. I will tell what to read and where to read. Okay? Geomorphology, and this is your physical geography Rupa made simple series. These are only reference book. Need not to read. एक ही base book रखना है. Other than these 4, this is the base book. इसको रेट लेना है पूरा. That we will study. And from these books, I will tell you which are the points that you should read. I will mark it and give it to you. Okay? Now this is human geography. Human geography के लिए 3 base books है. First chapter, Perspectives in Human Geography. Perspectives in Human Geography has 4 books. One, Majid Hussain sir का book is there, Evolution of Geographic Thought, perspective के लिए. Second, you have R.D. Dixit. And third, you have Sudipta Adhikari. Out of these 3 books, the best one is R.D. Dixit. But still I have recommended Majid Hussain sir book. Because Majid Hussain sir का book is more academic and more exam oriented than R.D. Dixit. This is R.D. Dixit book. This R.D. Dixit book is extremely good, but again make it use as a value addition. I will tell you which are the page numbers from geographic thought which you should read for that respective chapters. Don't purchase, I will give it to you. PDF मिल जाएगा आपको, मतलब piracy कर सकते हैं थोड़ा सा. So out of that total book, you have to read only selected pages. I will tell you can keep this book as a base book. After this chapter number 5 क्या था? Models, Theories and Laws. उसके लिए एक book है माजिद हुसैन सर का. That you should purchase. And for population, settlement, etc. Human Geography by Majid Hussain. So ये 3 books. 3 plus 1, 4. ये आपको लेना है. And reference के लिए you have again part 2 of Rupa made simple. Rupa made simple का this is part 1 physical geography and this is your economic geography. Got the idea? I will give it to you. But ये वाला are compulsory. So total कितना पढ़ना है आपको? These are the basic books. Anyways, you have to read it for GS. Then you will have 1 book and these 3 books. Got the idea? So total 4 main books other than internet for paper 1. Paper 2 के लिए there are 2 books. Majid Hussain sir, D.R. Khuller, P. Dayal, etc. But I would recommend D.R. Khuller. बड़ा book है 600 pages का. We will cover everything. But एक book पढ़ लो, बात खत्म. So total 5 to 6 books you have to read. That's it. Got the idea? Other than this, atlas and magazines are extremely important, which you will need for GS also. That is Oxford Student School Atlas, Geography and EU, Yojna and Kurukshetra. See, I can say that skip this, but if you are reading, your knowledge horizon will increase. Need not to go into detail वगैरह, only selected few articles. देख लो एक बार. योजना and Kurukshetra तो anyways is extremely important. Got the idea? And later, I hope that you got the idea about this part, that is the book list. syllabus समझ में आया, nature of the geography समझ में आया, book list, I hope you got it. Now what is the relevance of geography really? अभी syllabus देखा है ना आपने. Now I will tell you what is the relevance. Now in UPSC you have total how many papers? GS 1, GS 2, GS 3 and GS 4 and your essay. Out of all these 5 papers, ये कितने papers है? 5. ये 5 papers हैं. GS1 paper is 250 marks. This year you can go home and check 100 mark paper is from geography. GS1 out of 250 100 marks का paper geography से. You go download it from UPSC, you will understand it. An average out of 250 95 marks का paper is directly from geography in GS. In GS2 you just saw Indian Ocean realm का आपने देखा, contemporary issues देखा, right? This was what the syllabus is. I will just show it to you again so that you will really, political aspects, federalism, state reorganization, new states, regional consciousness, interstate issues, international boundaries, Indian Ocean region, geopolitics of South Asia, cross-border terrorism, world affairs. ये पूरा GS ही है ना. This is related to basically आपका GS2. मतलब GS2 में भी 40 marks paper has relevance from geography. GS paper 3 3 section, agriculture, industries and infrastructure, trade, disaster management and environment. ये 4 section जो है ना, those are directly related in the syllabus, directly mentioned, cut copy paste. समझ में आ रहा है? So these points in GS paper 3 are also directly related from geography. Ethics, I won't claim a lot, but essay it does help because you will get a lot of idea. So if you just try to understand, the syllabus and the overlap in UPSC mains paper. So this is your GS paper. In this GS paper, that is paper 1, we know that ये तो पूरा का पूरा is geography, 95 to 100 marks each year, and this is your GS paper 3. I have not included GS paper 2, just GS, just for a demo I am just showing. Here if you just try to understand, this is your environment, conservation, environment, pollution, degradation, environment impact assessment, disaster and disaster management, and this internal security का certain part. And here major crops, cropping pattern, irrigation type, ये पूरा का पूरा agriculture. Logical है ना? And certain parts related to, I would say, development, industries, etc. यहाँ पे दिया है. So GS1 and GS3 has lot of relevance in the examination. So if you try to understand geography and its relevance, especially in the mains and in prelims, we have seen basically in mains, in GS paper 1, 2, 3 and essay paper, you have lot of relevance and lot of questions that would be directly coming from geography as optional. So there is a very much high overlap between GS mains and your optional. Got the idea? हाँ ना, अभी दिखाया ना आपको. In prelims, there are mainly 3 sections: environment, agriculture and geography. These are prelims का part. Each year, I am teaching environment since past 5 years. Each year, average 15 to 16 questions come from environment prelims में. Agriculture का let us consider 5 only 5, and geography का let us consider 7, only 7. Still this number, aggregate number, goes more than 25 to 30. Out of 100 questions, 30 questions are coming only from these 3 topics. Plus, in prelims, map marking, especially international relations, which are the countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea, South China Sea, right? IRM, which of the following is the region in the news? Yes, sab kuch you can study here. So, to clear the prelims, geography is extremely important. Got the idea? So, definitely it has relevance in GS paper 1, GS paper 2, 3 and essay. Hi Anna, getting the idea? So, this is what is the relevance of this optional in mains and your prelims. Now, let me come to the last point, that is various myths and the reality about the geography optional. जो भी है सच बोलूंगा, I do not, because I do understand the aspirants का need, necessity to clear this examination. First, especially in Bangalore, बच्चे क्या बोलते हैं? सबसे पहला, geography is the most vast subject, or rather I would say the syllabus is the biggest one. Syllabus is extremely large to complete geography ka. This is the first concern that most of the aspirants have. Question is, what is the reality? So let me try to tell you. The answer is yes. झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा. But the point is, if you are able to manage the syllabus, if you are able to make the notes, do the classes and revise it for 4 to 5 times, GS पूरा हो जाता है. Understand this part. If you are taking some other optionals, let us take XYZ, let us, for example, I am giving you, let us take sociology. क्या relevance है? GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 दिखाएंगे ऐसे वैसे, कुछ नहीं होता. What I am trying to tell is the reality. This optional seems to be big. Yes, it is true, but it has lot of relevance in mains examination. Mains and prelims का पूरा पढ़ाई हो जाता है. Understand this. It's a reality. I have just shown you the papers. Getting the idea? So this vast syllabus, if you are doing the classes, regular classes, plus if you are taking down the notes, and if you are going home and revising the notes, and if you are referring the books, which I tell, and after this classes, notes, revision and reading the books, if you are revising it for 4 to 5 times, then I personally feel optional can be done thoroughly. Thoroughly, I am not saying classes, I am saying preparation. Preparation can be thoroughly done in 6 months. 6 months baat khatam. With answer writing, I am saying, if you are able to do it, if you are able to manage it, then the answer is this syllabus can be easily managed. And most of your work in mains and prelims would already be done. This is the reality. Now question is, second part. This is the second query that most of the student have. It is less scoring. So what is the reality? मैं सच बोलूं आपको, this is not right. Rather, I would say less scoring or more scoring depends upon the aspirant himself. You take X, Y, Z optional और पढ़ाई नहीं करोगे तो कैसे मार्क्स आएगा? लॉजिकल है ना? The same hot water in a vessel can be basically, I would say, used to boil basically the egg and make its shell harder. The same water, hot water, can be used to melt certain substance. मतलब water तो water ही है, but काम क्या कर रहा है? That depends upon that particular substance. Now, what I want to say is that it is scoring less or more that depends extremely on you only, none other. And there is no other optional, in no UPSC का any optional that guarantees you कि marks आएंगे मतलब आएंगे. कोई भी ले लो आप, कोई भी मैथमेटिक्स, तो मैथमेटिक्स इफ यू कंसिडर 500 में से 400 क्यों नहीं आते बच्चों को? इफ ऑल द न्यूमेरिकल्स आर करेक्ट, वन शुड गेट 450 ना. लॉजिकल है ना, ऐसा नहीं होता. What I want to say, all the optionals are equally good, equally well scoring. This is the reality. But आपको मैं दिखाता हूं reality क्या दिखाई जाती है. Just a minute. Understand. Third, especially here, मेरा कुछ नहीं जाता इसमें. Trust me. Third, this is the new trend. Percentage of success in a particular optional. This is what is shown. Now I am showing you the UPSC data received from UPSC website and DOPT. If you try to understand any optional and the candidates which have appeared from a particular optional, candidates which have appeared from the optional and candidates which have cleared from the optional. Let us try to understand this. I can give n number of example, but I am giving you only two. I don't want to compare myself. Let us try to compare the recent data of geography as per UPSC. The recent data that we have is of 2019-2020. 2019 का data है अपने पास. And for reference only, I am taking one more subject, that is medical science. Medical geography का I know the exact numbers. In 2019, do you know how many students were able to, means कितना देते हैं? Let us consider 2019, 20, 21 and now 2022. I will tell you the names also. 2019 में prelims, mains, interview, because this is what is the data that we have. Let us consider an average. You are having 900 seats, 950 के around था. Let us consider 900 for our calculation. 900 to 950 seats. I don't remember the exact number, but I am taking it approximately उतना ही था. So, if this much are the total number of the seats available in this year, then UPSC takes generally कितना prelims में, prelims का intake कितना होता है? Prelims mains में 13 times more student. Getting that? 13 times. 12 to 13 का ratio होता है. So, let us consider 1000 into 13, that is 13,000 students would be appearing or 12,000 students would be appearing in the mains. और इसमें से इंटरव्यू में कितने जाते हैं पता है आपको? 12,000 में से 2.4 to 2.9. Let us consider 3 times. Getting the idea? So मतलब यहाँ का कितना होगा? Basically 4,000 to 3.5,000. Right? Out of all the students who appeared for this examination, this is a precise number. 1916 students cleared UPSC, cleared with geography as optional. That means they appeared for the mains. पहली बात, I will tell this how many cleared, वो छोड़ दो, but पहले ये समझो कि आजकल बच्चों को प्रीलिम्स ही नहीं निकल रहा है. And out of all the optional, geography is the optional which has maximum number of the students who were able to clear prelims. इसीलिए तो इतने बच्चे अपेयर करें ना मीन्स को. लॉजिकल है ना. आउट ऑफ दिस 1916 फाइनल मेरिट लिस्ट में आउट ऑफ 900 105 बच्चे जो ज्योग्राफी के ही थे. एंड if you try to understand the data related to basically medical science, I'm taking just example of medical science, 247, this is what is the UPSC says, this is not my data, 240 students appeared for the mains from medical science, and out of this 26 students cleared the final merit list with medical science. Now understand the beauty of the games, of the number, and इसीलिए the problem is happening. If you try to, एक तो पहली बात understand, 1900 students were able to clear the prelims. Most of you are not able to clear the prelims. यहाँ पे 1916 students were able to clear because of this optional. This is validated by UPSC only. First point, logical है ना? Maximum number. मतलब maximum number of the geography students are able to clear prelims. That is true. 100% true. Out of this so big or huge number, 105 are clearing. If I want to find percent, I have to divide x by y. Logical. Now here I have to divide basically x by y, matlab 1916 divided by 105. That will determine by percent success ratio. So this ratio is around 5.5% only. And if you try to divide 247 with 26, this percent is around 10.5. अब देखो आप क्या समझ में आया? Percentage wise result is extremely high of medical science with respect to geography. But reality क्या है? आप ही देखो कितने बच्चे अपेयर कर रहे हैं? Almost this is 250 and let us consider this as 2000. This is almost 5 times, 4.2 times more than that. Plus just see the difference between the numbers. But percentage कम ही आएगा ना, because ये base बड़ा है. Common sense use करो बच्चों. If this base is more, total number out of 900 seats, 100 बच्चे तो geography की है. There are n number of optionals, उसमें से 105 बच्चे geography की है. Understanding? Question is, why is that कि this rest of them 1700, or let me try to consider 1000 students are not able to clear. इसका reason ये है, very pretty simple reason. Now most of you or the last year batches students who took geography from us will be able to clear the prelims आराम से. Why? Because 30 questions are going to come from this geography only. Geography, environment, agriculture, etc. So their fundamentals are very strong. Understand this. और इसके ऊपर बस पॉलिटी एंड इकोनॉमी प्रिपेयर करना है. पॉलिटी 16 क्वेश्चंस, इकोनॉमी 18 क्वेश्चंस. 16 plus 18 34, 34 plus 30 60, 64, राइट? आउट ऑफ दिस 64 पॉलिटी में हार्डली एक या दो गलत होता है बच्चों का. इकोनॉमी में 6 गलत पकड़ो. And out of basically environment and ye, out of 30 let us consider you get 20 correct. Out of 30 let us consider you get net 20 correct. And out of 34, that is polity and economy, 34 में से you get net another 25 correct from that area. So 25 plus 20 is 45. 45 2 जा 90. हो गए पास. क्या चाहिए और? So prelims निकालना आसान है ज्योग्राफी वाले. But the point is, those students who are first timers have not practiced answer writing. They have not practiced case studies, diagrams, maps, etc. तो उसके कारण क्या होता है? They will say that geography scoring नहीं है. Geography पढ़ाया नहीं. If you are not studied, if you are not written, how are you going to score? Let you take any option. Getting the idea? So first point is, actually these numbers are misleading to the aspirants. In totality, this is much more bigger, because this is what is the UPSC saying. Getting the idea? समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So be more wise while choosing any particular option, because this is what I have seen here. वैसे कुछ भी नहीं होता. I am not asking you, making you compulsory to take this, but you should be wise enough to take it. So I hope that you got the myths. It is very low scoring, it is extremely vast. थर्ड मोर, उसमें बहुत डायग्राम्स है, फैक्ट्स है. अरे every subject has certain facts, every subject have some things, right? So how can that be a disadvantage? I could not understand that. To score any optional good marks, you need certain data, facts, figures to substantiate the things. यहाँ पे भी लगेगा ना. But don't consider geography, GS geography as optional geography. Don't consider that. Here we have to go much deeper. Got the idea? Now, after understanding the myths, let us understand how the classes would be done. Classes would be done for about 4.5 to 5 months. 300 hours तो कम से कम चाहिए हमें. Last both the batches we took around 300 hours, 300 plus hours. We need 4.5 to 5 months. Classes would be from Monday to Saturday. In the case of only health emergency, breaks would be given, else there would be no break. All the topics, all the syllabus point and sub point would be taught, each and every point would be taught in the class. You will be given notes, you will be given the notes, you will be taught comprehensively each and every syllabus point. Previous year questions would be discussed and mentorship would be provided. To show you what we did and how we did, most of you are my students in OGP, just try to see what we have done here last year. This is student ka notes. So this is the most important book that we are going to keep with ourselves, that is UPSC previous year questions starting from 1978 till 2022. So here, are you able to see, this is the paper 1 geomorphology, and these are the questions 1, 2, 3, 4 till this basically kitna questions hai 74, right? So what we do, after completing each and every topic, we will go back and we will underline kiya na maine ye, this is nothing but a underlined part by a student. So wo kya karega, he will underline, okay, I have seen these questions previous year, I have written these questions and we have covered this in examination. Getting the idea? So all these questions would be discussed and covered in the classes. Example, if you try to understand the first chapter, geomorphology, factors controlling landform development, endogenetic, exogenetic forces, origin and evolution of the earth's crust, fundamental of geomagnetism, physical conditions of the earth's interior, geosynclines. ये क्या है? This is nothing but the syllabus. Are you able to see this? Factors controlling landform development, endogenetic, exogenetic, origin and evolution of the earth's crust, fundamentals of geomagnetism, etc. ये linear format में, there I have given it in point wise format, right? Once that is done, what we do, after this we will take a single chapter, every point उसका पूरा diagrams, flow charts, reference books, which I will try to tell you, which you need to read, other than these are your notes that will be provided in the class. Once this is done, आपको ये diagrams, case studies and basically how you should follow it in the class, flow charts, ये भी दिया जाएगा. Getting the idea? So this is how it is, the diagrams, the theories. Yes, ये पूरा Davis Pink का है, everything. This should be provided to you. Got the idea? So I hope that you got a clarity about the syllabus. You got clarity about the relevance of this optional in general studies. You got the nature of the subject. You have seen how the classes would be done. Getting the idea? And you might also have understood the reality and the myths related to this optional. Last year also we have on YouTube Kalpashri, who have scored 284, and there is YouTube, I would say, discussion, the topper's talk with me only. I have conducted at Insights only. You can see her. So you can see how she have scored 285, 284. Yasharth Shekhar scored 300 plus. Naman Goyal scored. So there are n number of the students who are scoring good in geography. Getting the idea? So don't worry about it. If you are really studying hard and if you are really interested, you can go with geography, you can manage geography. I personally feel so. But only one thing is that you need to work hard. If you are ready to do so, then this option would be very good for you guys. Getting the idea? So, I hope that you got the idea. If you have any doubts, you can please ask. So, one of the student is asking how long will be the classes held for geography optional. So, our optionals should be for 4.5 months at least. I personally believe koi bhi optional, why is it? So, I will tell you the logic. Tell me, UPSC in its own gazetted notification, you go back and download the original notification of UPSC and read what it has mentioned in the syllabus. It mentions that you need to study up to the master's level. मतलब 3 साल BA in geography or BA in sociology, BA in PSIR, कुछ भी, plus 2 years of masters. मतलब on average you have to study 4 years का study you have to do. Logical है ना? Now tell me, how can you complete the optional in 150 hours यार? मतलब without any derogatory remarks to any particular god, ब्रह्मदेव भी ऊपर से आके 100 घंटे में नहीं कर सकता यार पढ़ाई. Considering you have to start from zero, how is it even possible? Tell me, you tell me. नहीं होगा ना? You need time. For any optional, you need 300 hours. I personally feel. If someone is saying that if I am completing it in 200 hours, then all the best to you guys. ऐसे नहीं होता. Okay. So, I hope that you got the clarity about each and everything. If you have any doubts, you can send the mail to the insights, or you can contact me on the telegram, and my telegram ID is @ASHISH. There is no space, G is capital, Ashish Ghadge. A is capital and G is capital. This is my telegram ID. If you have any doubts, you can message me on telegram. Strictly doubts related only to preparation. बाकी relationship का आपका कुछ भी issue होगा तो बोलना मत मुझे. Short out कर लो आपसे. So related to preparation, whatever doubts you have, you can feel free to ask me. Okay. I hope you got the idea. ठीक है, चलो. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So, one of the student is asking about the self-study. That is the only reality of UPSC. It is the self-study that only is one particular thing which will help you to clear the examination. Coaching industry, teachers and mentors are nothing but the catalyst which help you to provide the direction and reduce your efforts so that you can achieve your target much more early. Matlab, what I want to say, if you are taking any optional or if you want to do GS, General Studies preparation on your own, and if you want to crack this examination, I guarantee you that on self-study, you can easily clear the examination because nature of examination is like that. But उसको time लगेगा 4 साल, 5 साल. Classes में क्या होता है? We guys generally tend to make that process but faster. बस इतना ही फर्क है. Through the experience what we have learned, we will try to incorporate or give you the knowledge that we have so that your work becomes much more easy and you can concentrate more on answer writing, solving the questions, etc. so that you can clear the exam in early attempts, probably in second attempt or third attempt or first attempt, depending upon your preparation. Got the idea? What else? Anything else? Anything? ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि ज्योग्राफी डिफिकल्ट है, ज्योग्राफी से रिजल्ट नहीं आता. There is one student in Delhi we had of test series. Within 2 months, you will find his name in final merit list, and I will make a video on that. 21 साल का बच्चा है, 21 साल मतलब 21 years of age. Written first, gave first prelims, gave first mains, and gave first interview also. with geography as optional. I will just provide you hint. Later I will disclose his name. Let it come in the list and it will come. 21 साल में he is from DU, Delhi University. पिछले 3 साल से as he asked classes भी किया उसने and self study किया 2 साल. When he was my student and he is my student, I have helped Vinay sir, I have really helped him a lot for interviews and for geography. He was my student and test series also he took from here. After seeing his answers and everything, I spoke to him. I thought that he might be writing his 4th or 5th mains. बच्चा पहला मेंस लिख रहा था, 21 साल का बच्चा था. And general studies का टेस्ट सीरीज he had joined, IVL टेस्ट सीरीज at Insights, विजन का एक लगाया था और एक किसी का लगाया था उसने, तीनों. He was topper not only at IVL टेस्ट सीरीज at Insights, including SAR. वो बच्चा इनसाइट्स में भी हर टेस्ट में जीएस की बात कर रहा हूं, ज्योग्राफी तो छोड़ दो, ज्योग्राफी नो वन वाज एबल टू कम नियर बाय हिम आल्सो इन एनी सेंस. आई हैव नॉट गॉट हिज पेपर, बट इफ आई हैड आई विल रियली शो यू इमीडिएटली. विल शो यू हिज पेपर. वो बच्चा जीएस 1 2 3 4 एसए सब में इनसाइट्स में टॉपर था, विजन में टॉपर था, सभी तरफ टॉपर था. 20 years ऑफ बच्चा. अंडरस्टैंड द लेवल ऑफ preparation. Geography as optional. Geography as a optional. He did not go with the conventional way. ये अच्छा नहीं है, वो अच्छा नहीं है, etc. etc. So there are students who have cracked and who will crack with geography as optional. That I guarantee. Last year, if you try to understand, Shruti Sharma, All India rank 1, she was told not to take history because history is not performing very well. This is what was told to her, but she was convinced on her own कि नहीं चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए मैं हिस्ट्री से ही निकालूंगी 300 प्लस लेके ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1. Got the idea? What I want to say, go by your inner instinct, by your interest, which will help you to clear this examination. Because you are going to be an IAS officer, यार थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाओ खुद का. Got the idea? So there are students I am seeing of your age who have done it. So don't be so pessimistic or so optimistic about a X optional or Y optional. Think logical, think rational. I have given you all the viewpoints. Depending upon that, you can take a decision. In case of any doubts, this is my Telegram ID and you can feel free to ask me. I hope you got the idea. Chalo, thank you. Thank you guys.